You're live.
Good evening, Annapolis. I call to order this regularly scheduled meeting of the City of Annapolis Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. Today is October 1st, 2025, and the time is 7:01. Excuse me, members present this evening, Vice Chair Claire Congers, Chris Sheehan, Dick Peterson. We have Deputy City Clerk Cynthia Gaines and Assistant City Attorney Bianca, and I forgot your last name. Sorry.
Smith, it's okay.
It's Beth. And I'm Ryan Chitwood. So before we begin, have members of the board had the opportunity to read through the draft minutes from September 3rd, 2025? And if so, are there corrections, additions, or modifications that need to be made?
Move they be accepted.
All
Second.
right. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Claire is an aye.
Yes. Aye.
Perfect. All right. Minutes are accepted. Moving into our public hearing this evening, we have an application for a new alcoholic beverage license, Dock Street Ventures LLC, trading as Admiral's Cup Annapolis. An application for a new alcoholic beverage license, Class 4B XAB, beer, wine, and liquor, on sale 6 a.m. to 12 midnight, 7 days per week, special Sunday license. In addition, sales as authorized from 12 midnight to 2 a.m. In addition, off sales Monday through Saturday during hours. In addition, off sale Sunday during authorized hours. Special Sunday license. And so let's see, who do we have with us this evening regarding this matter? I see Brian. Okay.
And sorry, sir. I have David Goodman with
And
me.
oh, and David's there as well. All right, great. And Julian. Okay.
How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Marquette, are you going to be
Margette's just here to share screen for me, Chairman Chitwood.
perfect? Okay. Sorry, Mr. Dales, didn't see you there. Let's start. Can we get anyone who's going to be speaking on this matter this evening? Can we get names and addresses, please?
Start
Mr.
with
Dale,
Brian.
do you want to start?
You said myself?
Yes.
Whoever.
Sure. Yeah. So Brian McCormick, and I live at 2803 Armacost Avenue, Finksburg, Maryland, 21048.
Okay, Mr. Goodman.
David Goodman, 6 Barrow Court, Towson, Maryland, 21204.
Julian.
Julian Marucci, 3831 Ivy Hill Road, Hampstead, Maryland.
Fantastic. Would you three, I'll swear you guys in. Would you three please raise your right hand? Any testimony you provide, do you affirm under the penalty of perjury it'll be true and complete?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Great. Okay. Mr. Dales, would you like to walk us through this application?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We'll make our case by both proffer and testimony. I'll begin just with an introduction and give you a brief history, and then we'll move to testimony, I think very brief testimony from David and Julian, and then we'll go to Mr. McCormick, who's going to give you a description of really the layout and operations of this requested license. So just to begin, this is a request for a license at the former location of Mission Barbecue, which is 142 Dock Street, where there was previously a restaurant approved by special exception and a liquor license associated with it. We're also seeking the same type of license that existed until recently, approximately 100 yards away at the former Manja, which is a B4 XAB license. And the group that you're going to hear from tonight is associated with a well-known, experienced operator in Maryland and other states as well. None of the licensees here have any financial interest in another license in the jurisdiction. And I think what we'll do is begin with just an observation about the need for a license here. We've got a city dock master plan that is public knowledge. We know that there will be more visitors to this area, and this space is sat vacant for quite some time now. It's great that the special exception for a license was recently approved by the Board of Appeals after a hearing on September 17th. And normally I wouldn't walk this board through all the conditions associated with an approval like that. There were, I think, 16 total conditions, which were mostly the standard conditions, but there are four that I think might be of interest to this board tonight. And so I do want to read those. So in particular, we had a couple of conditions imposed that relate to noise, odors, and things that this board usually asks about. So we'll just say that our special exception approval by condition requires that the music that we'll have associated with this license not be audible beyond the property line. I've never had a condition like that specifically imposed before for a restaurant, so I think that might be of relevance to your considerations tonight. It's a pretty strict limitation. The stage area that you'll hear about and be shown on the floor plans when Mr. McCormick testifies, and it's an area for a DJ on the second floor, are both by condition only allowed to operate until midnight. So, on the nights that we're asking to operate the liquor license beyond that time, both the DJ and live music are required by the special exception to stop at midnight. Furthermore, the wattage of the speakers can't exceed 100 watts, which is, again, very specific and unusual in my experience, but I think relevant to your considerations here. And the max decibel level inside the building can't exceed 75 dBA. So those are the conditions that you probably wouldn't have had before you, since that approval was so recently issued. It wasn't included. The board's opinion couldn't have been included in our application to you. So I wanted to put that out there. And again, just kind of going big picture, this group, we're going to show you by testimony and familiarize you with these applicants. All three are fit to hold the license. And more than that, we're going to instill some confidence in you that this group knows how to operate a license like this safely and in keeping with this city dock community. One last comment is that we want to focus a little tonight on the proposed doing business as name and any perception associated with it if the board members happen to be familiar with the Admiral's Cup in Fells Point, Baltimore. The applicants felt that name was particularly suited to the location where we're seeking this license and its proximity to the academy, but we want to make a point through our testimony, and you're going to hear this from Mr. McCormick, that the proposed operation here is not meant to be a clone in any way. In fact, to be quite different. We'll talk to you about the menu. We'll talk to you about the way that this will operate differently than the Admiral's Cup in Fells Point, which is a great location and a great restaurant, but it is in a different location. It's suited to where it is in Fells, and this license and menu and concept is suited to where we're proposing it in City Dock. So with that, I would call Mr. McCormick and ask him some questions. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let's get the other testimony questions out of the way first from the other licensee. Julian, I'd ask you a few questions first, please. So could you just tell the board a little bit about your background and connection to this property?
I'm going to be the partner executive chef on the property doing Italian food.
And what's your experience generally in the restaurant industry?
I've been working in the restaurant industry since I was about 14, 15 years old. Been an executive chef since I was probably since I was 21, so about 21 years.
And you have training in alcohol awareness and in crowd management?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that if this license is awarded and you're one of the licensees, individual licensees, that you'd be responsible for any violations in the license, whether you happen to be present at the property when any kind of violation were to happen. Is that right?
I'm aware.
And you've been familiarized yourself with the rules of the board and the city code and state code provisions that govern the operation of this license, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much, Julian. And for the board members, if you have questions for any of the individuals afterwards, obviously they'll be here ready to answer your questions. But now I'd move to David. And David, could you just tell the board your restaurant industry experience and your connection to this property?
First, I've been in the industry for about 20 years or so. I've worked for Atlas 49 and previously another large restaurant group with multifaceted, multi-tiered restaurant styles. And I currently work as the as the vice president of operations for Atlas.
And what's your connection to this specific property and the application for this license?
Sure. So I'm a partner in the company as well as have oversight as the current director of operations for the Annapolis properties. So that would be underneath my umbrella as well.
Got it. Okay, thank you very much. And you also have alcohol awareness training and crowd management training, is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. And again, just like I asked Julian, you understand that if there are any violations here, you would be responsible whether or not you're present for the daily operations and would have to come before this board to answer for any such violations. Is that right?
Understood.
And you are familiar with the rules and laws that govern the operation of this license. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you very much. And now, Mr. McCormick, if I could ask you to do the same thing to start, just tell the board your connection to this property and general experience in the restaurant industry. Then we'll get more specific.
Sure. I'm a partner within the business with Julian and David. I've been with Atlas Restaurant Group for the past 12 years, in the restaurant industry for the past 20 plus years as well. Currently operate as the Chief Operations Officer for Atlas Restaurant Group, operating 50 plus locations across four different states.
Thank you very much. And just to get these questions out of the way early so we can talk more about the substance of this application, you understand, like the others, that you'd be responsible for any violations under the license, if there are ever any, and you would be responsible for coming before this board personally to answer those violations. Is that right?
I do.
And you familiarize yourself certainly with the code in the city of Annapolis and the state code governing the city of Annapolis and these licenses, as well as the board's rules. Is that right?
I have, and we are familiar.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so if we could pull up the menu, please, on the screen share. This is another item that was not part of our original application because it hadn't fully been developed yet, but we finished it and presented it to the Board of Appeals. And so I'd like just to show it to you here, and we can scroll up and down to give you an idea of what this concept is. Brian, with reference to this, could you talk about the concept here and what you're planning to offer in the way of food and beverage?
Sure. So the concept is a lunch and dinner service restaurant, meal periods running from 11 a.m. until 11 p.m. or midnight for food service. Probably 11 p.m. on weekdays and ideally midnight on the weekends. If you see, there's a mix of Neapolitan style pizzas with appetizers, salads, and sandwiches. So classic casual fare, but a little something that may differ from a few other operations in the market for ourselves. But casual fare, price point anywhere from again $12 to $15 for appetizers, and anywhere from $12 to $20+ for pizzas with different sizes. It's not a pizza by the slice place. It would be again whole pizzas designed for dine in, and we don't have any plans for delivery service for third-party delivery services. There would be takeout available for guests to come into the restaurant and then leave.
Okay, and this is what you would call a full menu, is that right, as opposed to a limited menu?
Yep. So again, there's over approximately 25 to 30 plus items that's congruent with our other full service restaurants. Full service would be again seated table service, bar service. There is no outdoor dining in this location, but would be served by a member of the team, in which there's a service gratuity, so it's not a grab and go type of environment.
Well, and just in my introduction, I mentioned we're going to emphasize the distinction between this restaurant and the Fells Point Admiral's Cup simply because of the name similarity and to avoid any confusion. That this is one of those differences. Is that right? That this represents a focus on food?
It is. So the location in Fells Point currently is a dinner service, or sorry, is a evening service only operation. It's all day service, but the demand in Fells Point has decreased over the years. So there's not a lunch service demand, and the food service demand is extremely diminished for this location in Fells Point. So it is much more of a pub style atmosphere with live music attached to it for Fells Point. We are with the population size in Annapolis and the level of tourism that we see on a regular basis, are much more confident that it can be a successful full service restaurant that has a full menu, has a full staff that is dedicated to full dining.
It was my understanding that you've chosen to have this full menu and a focus on food here because of the understanding you've developed of this specific area of the Annapolis market and the larger Annapolis market itself. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Like I said, the tourism traffic, the local traffic has again been very prevalent over the past 3 years of operation that we've been in the market. So again, we're very excited to offer a full service restaurant.
Thank you. And your customer base that you're planning on having is a full spectrum of from an age and including families and young single people as well. Is that right?
We're again a completely inclusive environment in which we can serve anywhere from I guess myself, who has a family of four with two small children, all the way to the boat show clientele from this weekend to a younger demographic as well.
Okay, and now could we change the screen share to the first floor plan, please? Now, as we share these exhibits to the board, we trust that you reviewed the application materials that already had these drawings, and so we won't belabor them. I just want to focus on some key points and have Mr. McCormick give you some details about what's going to be inside here and how it's going to function. So, Mr. McCormick, could you walk the board through the layout of the first floor, touching on the area for live music, the bar, the area where the dining tables will be, and just tell them how you plan to operate it.
Surely. So as you can see, the kitchen layout is essentially in the same footprint that the Mission Barbecue layout was in previously, and we have not adjusted that at all. The only thing we've added the Mission Barbecue was an open kitchen. This will be a closed. Again, we plan on having a closed off kitchen. There's one central bar in the middle of the first floor. And then there will be adjacent table seating in a high top area around the bar area, with a small stage area for the live music component on the bottom left hand corner of the screen. We've identified that area so that the noise faces into the building rather than onto the street, and all of the amplified music points into the restaurant back towards the kitchen rather than externally towards the street. What else? Restrooms on the first floor remain the same.
Did you talk about the trash storage area on the first floor here?
Yep. So there's where it says existing cooler, that is a trash storage cooler on the first floor that will hold the daily refuse, in which we'll take through the back exit onto. I'm not completely familiar with the adjacent street to Dock Street, but the perpendicular street to Dock Street there. We currently have a 7-day pickup contract for trash. So trash would exit the building in the evening after close, and then be picked up and brought back into the restaurant the first thing by the opening team and opening manager.
Thank you. And just to be clear, just not creating any confusion, that cooler is obviously not going to be used for any food. That's wholly dedicated to the storage of trash, right?
Yep. So all of the food storage is on the second floor, is on the second floor cooler, and this cooler is completely dedicated towards trash storage.
It's also rather unique and sort of overkill from other applications I've seen before. But the reason you're able to do that is an existing cooler from the prior tenant. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
And this is how I'm under the assumption that they were operating from the previous operator.
Okay, and before we move to the second floor, I just, with regard to this stage, if we could scroll down just a little bit. The stage is there at that lower left corner, as you described. And in addition to facing away from Dock Street, it's also my understanding your architect put that there so it'd be located the farthest from the closest residential area, which, although not very close, would be to the rear of the building across the street. Is that right?
That is correct to my knowledge, yes, because across the street is Middleton's, and then on our other side would be Dock Street.
And so this is as far as you could get from the residential areas that are closest, but it also faces inward, so the noise is towards the building. Okay.
That would be.
Thank you. Can we go to the second floor plan, please?
So the second floor.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Second floor, similar layout. In the above the kitchen area is dry storage, as well as back house prep area, as well as walk-ins, ice production, and all of the dishwashing equipment upstairs. Smaller centralized bar in the center of the floor plan, with high top seating that will spread around the area, and on towards the window facing side of Dock Street, because that's the best view of the Annapolis Harbor. And then and again, like I said, small dining room at the top of the stairwell, with restrooms on the second floor to service the guests on the second floor.
Okay. Now, I read those 4 conditions from the special exception approval into the record in my introduction, but for the board's, so the board can hear you confirm that you were aware of those. They all pretty much relate to sound. So again, you're aware or have agreed to abide by the music not being audible at all beyond the property line. Is that right?
We have agreed to that, yes.
And that the stage for live entertainment and the DJ, the music being those 2 sources, is not allowed after midnight, right?
That is correct.
And inside, the wattage of speakers can't be more than 100 watts, and the maximum decibel level cannot exceed 75 dBA. Is that right?
That is correct. And we work with a sound engineer that we work with for all of our locations in the build out and the construction.
That's going to be a good segue. And we obviously can come back to this floor plan if it's the source of any interest or questions from the board members after we finish our presentation. But I want to ask about one of your other contractors now. So you had a contractor, an architect and sound expert for controlling noise in your operation here. But even with the music having to stop at midnight, you are going to employ, on any night that you're open beyond midnight, a security program to make sure that everything is operated in an orderly manner in and around the restaurant. Is that right?
We do. So we have a third-party security vendor that we utilize across a number of our locations for any operations that have any form of entertainment component or perceived later night environment post dinner service. So we utilize them. We utilize them in Annapolis currently. We utilize them in Baltimore as well as Baltimore City as well as Baltimore County. So we have they are here for we call them, they're security ambassadors. They're meant to be ambassadors of hospitality. So again, guest facing services. But if there was any need for crowd control or any other needs associated with a security concern, we would have them handle in addition to the management on site.
Right, thank you. So in your with your experience and knowledge of the restaurant industry as context, is it your opinion that that is a very significant investment in security?
From a financial perspective, it is. We spend, again, we spend a pretty significant amount of money in the hundreds of thousands of dollars across all of our units in order to adhere to this. There's standard protocols. We go through quarterly training with the security vendor on guest hospitality and how we'd like them to be perceived and treated. And we're constantly auditing the third party vendor on a weekly basis through operations.
To close on that, it's your intent and it's your purpose that that investment help you achieve a goal that the restaurant has a certain reputation and that there's a safe experience and quality experience for your patrons and the people who live around the building. Is that right?
Absolutely. I mean, we want to be a partner in the community, and no one wants to, be seen as a place of uh, contention. We're about guest experiences when it comes back to the families, or it comes back to the tourists, or it comes back to the local Annapolitan community. Again, we want to be able to serve all guests because, frankly, in this day and age with the food and beverage industry, we have to be open to all guests because it's a challenge.
And you're aware of the plans for the City Docks change for the redevelopment and increased public presence at City Dock as Annapolis goes through its plans. Is that correct?
We are. We've been a part of it and asked to help contribute some input and feedback, and are looking forward to the project.
And you feel this redevelopment specifically will contribute to that redevelopment and revitalization of this space, the street, and the City Docks, all right?
We do, holding true to the historic nature of the building, as well as contributing to the Naval Academy opportunities from a brand perspective and from a I don't want to say community perspective. But no, we agree that it can be an asset to the overall Dock Street development.
Okay, thanks. And just some simple questions here that I almost skipped over. Everyone who serves alcohol there is going to be alcohol awareness trained. Is that correct?
Well, yes, everyone will be the bartenders and management team that are responsible will be tip certified.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, we'll stop there so that the board can ask any questions it may have.
Any questions?
Yes. Brian,
Yes, Mr. Peterson.
how often will you be on the premises?
So I am currently in Annapolis right now, actually, with our other operation. But I'm typically here 2 days a week, at least.
On that
typically.
premise? I'm talking
so-
about the new,
Yeah, so I'm not on that premise at all currently because there's nothing. But our other operations are one block away, so I would expect to be on that premise at least 2 days a week. Yes, sir.
okay. Who is going to be the general manager?
We have not hired that individual yet, but typically we promote from within our organization, or we search externally for someone of qualified experience.
And you'll assure us that whoever you hire will be tips trained, properly trained in our rules and regulations.
As far as we have that standard operating procedure for all of our locations. So yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions, Mr. Peterson? Mr. Dales, are your clients aware of a citizen comment that was submitted regarding this application?
We are, and if that is part of the record, if it was submitted timely and the board's going to consider it, I do have a few comments just in answer that I would hope may provide some comfort to the business owner and resident who made that. So I would respond by proffer if you're letting me know that comment letter was reached you all.
It did reach the board. I think a lot of things that Mr. McCormick just addressed in terms of operations kind of
Mm-hmm.
talks about how some of these concerns are going to be mitigated. But since we did receive it and you're aware of it and your clients are aware of it, would you like to go ahead and address that?
Yes,
And
Mr.
just
Chairman.
for the record, the board did receive a citizen submission in opposition to this license, and essentially the reason being just rowdy and unruly behavior that is already existing in the city dock area with some other establishments that are open that have 2 a.m. liquor licenses.
Yeah, I think that's a fair summary, Mr. Chairman. It came fairly late today, and so I'm not sure exactly what the hours are for Storm Brothers, the ice cream shop. But I would like to respond by proffer in several ways. First, a lot of the testimony you heard tonight, we had already prepared and talked to each other about as we looked at our exhibits and the application we submitted to the special exception. So we were already preparing to tell you as board members about our plans and describe the type of operation that you can expect here to give the assurance to you and the public that it will not cause the concerns. It will not be the type of place that generates violence or disorderly conduct or overserves people in the way that the citizen and business owner claimed to be concerned about. Um, I just want to provide a couple of questions about the comments made, not necessarily objections or opposition, but I would note that some of the specific complaints in there about the effects on his employees and the effects on his business would all imply activity that happens not at the late hours, being that the business closes before 10. Um, and I believe the letter fairly could be characterized as objecting to the later night service, so after 10 or after 11. So those objections, I think, are going to exist regardless of this license or any of the others that operate later than those hours. The other complaints, I think, are really more public safety issues. There's complaints about fights on the streets, fights or destruction of property for his window. And I think if that's happening, it's being caused by other applicants that may operate their businesses differently. I don't think necessarily it would be even fair to say it happens from applicants or licensees in this area. It could come from anywhere in the city where there's alcohol being consumed or overserved. What we wanted to impress upon you all tonight before that letter even came in, and especially for that business owner, is the operation that you're going to see here, like the others that this licensee entity is familiar with and associated with, are operated at a very high level for the purpose of the brand's reputation. And this will not be the type of place where that kind of behavior occurs or where it emanates from. So I hope that what we've said already addresses those concerns. If anything that he said specifically should fairly be asked to this individual applicant, please ask us. But I guess my last comment and proffer would be that in the city, we don't have quotas on, the 12 the midnight or 2 a.m. licenses. What we do is ask this board to look at the individual application and determine if the applicant can operate the license that they're asking for safely and responsibly and in the location they're asking for it. And we would, in closing, I would say we believe that this is the exact correct location for this type of license, and this is the exact correct group to operate it safely and responsibly. So we hope that you feel the same way and would ask you to approve the application. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Dale, thank you for that. But I think what the board would really like to hear is from the applicants themselves that they are aware that there are problems down there and to be ready to address them if it happens in their establishment. We hope it doesn't, but we would want everybody to be aware that there have been problems in the past, and there'll probably be problems in the future. And just please be prepared to address them. Thank you. I see two heads nodding, so thank you.
Sorry, we are. Would you like me to answer to it, sir?
Yes, please.
I think the head nodding was sufficient.
We're aware, and like I said, we are typically we operate businesses at that time of the night already. So we are aware that there are challenges everywhere when it comes to that. And we are prepared.
Great, thank you.
And I appreciate too, with Mr. McCormick's testimony about specifically their investment in a third-party security group firm, that I think carries, that's impressive and not, you don't see that very often. So, does anyone else on the board have any other questions for our applicants this evening?
No.
No? All right. Is there anything else the applicants would like to have this board consider?
I think we've finished our testimony, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Very good. Is there a motion for or against?
I'll second.
All right, we have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, I think that's 4 ayes. So the application is granted, license approved. Mr. Dales, would you like to let Ms. Gaines know when the license will be retrieved?
Yeah, I think this might surprise the board. It's a unique situation. I think we're going to be ready to go very, very soon. So, Mr. McCormick, do you want to just say we want to set the pickup date as early as tomorrow, but understand we might not be picking up for a week or so?
I would state that might not pick up for a week or so. We're in the area, but we'll be prepared to pick it up. Either we'll be prepared to pick it up first thing next week.
So let's just say that October 7th, and we know that our clock starts running from then.
Ms. Gaines, good?
Yes, sir.
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you, gentlemen. Good luck to you. That will close our public hearing for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now we move into some new business. Agenda item 3, we have a request for an upgrade or modification of a previously approved alcoholic beverage license to include a permanent outdoor dining space for seasonal use, boatyard bar and grill. A request to upgrade or modify an alcoholic beverage license to include a permanent parking lot dining space for seasonal use. The request should include a site plan for the plan of the dining area, a plan to prevent the service of alcohol to minors, specific dates, hours that will be designated will be used for dining, and permission from the owner of the parking lot if applicable. So who do we have this with us this evening? I see Mr. Christoph, Kevin, Mr. Franio. Would you gentlemen like to give your name and address for the record, please?
Richard Franio, 29 Eastern Avenue, Eastport, Annapolis, 21403.
And Kevin Schendel, 412 Golf Course Drive, Arnold, Maryland, 21012.
Anthony F. Christo, 720 2nd Street, Annapolis, 21403.
And Kevin and Dick, would you mind raising your right hand and I'll swear you in for this matter? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury the testimony you will provide to this board will be true and complete?
I do.
Wonderful. Go ahead. Tell us about this request.
Mr. Chairman, if I could initially move into the record that several of the exhibits previously submitted to the city clerk, and note that those include a copy of the Board of Appeals decision in order of September 4, 2025. That's SC 2025 quadruple 08, approving the special exception to allow seasonal outdoor dining on site within the same tented area, which is the subject of this application. Also included was a site plan of the outside dining area, plan to prevent the service of alcohol to minors, a letter of August 11, 2025, as amended by a letter of September 22, 25, indicating the specific dates and hours during which the designated area will be used for outdoor dining and permission from the owner to use the parking lot. I would note that this is the first application, at least the first that I'm aware of, relative to an application under section 335.040. So I would proffer to the board that Mr. Frano and Mr. Schendel would both indicate that their testimony, with the exception of the dates and hours of outdoor dining, which are in the amended letter, would be the same as that previously given to this board in connection with the applications for approval previously presented in the previous 5 years. Both are available to amplify on that testimony or answer any specific questions from the board. I think that the board is well familiar with this operation and what is being sought here this evening.
Yeah. Any questions from the board?
Just refresh me on the closing times outside, Kevin, please.
Yes, Mr. Peterson, currently, what we're asking for, the closing times Monday through Thursday would be 10 p.m. On Friday and Saturday would be 10:30, and on Sundays it'd be 10 unless there's a holiday on Monday, and then we get that extra half an hour.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Peterson.
I move we approve.
All right, we have a motion to approve.
I'll
I see a
second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Four
Thank
ayes
you.
have it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Request is
Thank you.
approved.
Good luck.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, we have an application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property, the Maritime Republic of Eastport, the MRA Tug of War Charity Event 2025, an application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property with live music to the Maritime Republic of Eastport for the MRA Tug of War Charity Event 2025, scheduled on November 8th, 2025 from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Location, Eastport, only end of 2nd Street to Severn Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland, 21403.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
need
Mr.
to-
Peterson.
I need to recuse.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Powers, are you the only one here tonight?
Yes.
Or represent? Okay. Would you please give us your name and address for the record?
Of course, Erin Powers. My address is 2723 Neiman Court, Bowie, Maryland, 20716.
Okay, Ms. Powers, would you mind raising your right hand and I will administer the oath? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury the testimony you will give this evening to this board it will be true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Great, wonderful. Obviously, this tug of war looks a little different this year. Do you want to tell us about what you're planning?
So because of the construction on the Annapolis side, or the dark side as we call it, we've had to pivot a little. So it made a lot less work for me this year, not having to deal with all of the water part, but we are just going to be limited completely only to the 2nd Street up to Severn. So the party is still going to be the same. So all the permits for that side are still going to be the same, as far as the stage and the music, and none of that is changing. The only thing I think might change, well, 2 things, is we might be expecting fewer people because of the change, maybe. Also, because it's a week later than it normally is, we weren't planning on the whole daylight savings thing, losing an hour. So although the permit requested till 6, we're planning on shutting down earlier because of that loss of daytime. So we're going to cut off probably around 5. But still, the start time is still all the same. We just want to give all of the merchandise vendors and everybody, daylight opportunity to shut down. but everything else is completely the same. We're still going to have our 8 to 10 crowd managers. I'm still going to have security there, hired elite security, the owner, Virgil, and 8 people guarding the ins and the outs, making sure nobody leaves with alcohol. We're still going to have tickets for alcohol. People will be checking IDs. There will be wristbands issued, so no one will be able to get alcohol unless they have been ID'd accordingly. That's going to, how we prevent underage drinking, of course. So all of that stuff is the same. We're just not going across the water.
Okay. Anyone have any questions for Ms. Powers regarding this event?
Have there been any issues in the past
No,
with the tug
I
of
mean,
war?
other than people having a great time and us raising money for good causes.
Okay,
Mr. Chair, I move we approve.
All right, we have a motion to move.
I'll
to
second.
approve. All right,
Thank
all
you.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, 3 ayes. Approved. Have a wonderful event. We wish you all
Thank
the
you.
best. Thanks for figuring out how to make it happen this year. That's great.
We're all about making money for all the local charities, so let's hope we keep it rolling.
No, fantastic. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. You guys have a great evening.
You as well. All right, next up, we have an application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property. OHLA, which stands for Organization of Hispanic Latin Americans, Day of the Dead 2025. An application for consumption of alcoholic beverages on city property plus live music to the OHLA Organization of Hispanic Latin Americans for the Day of the Dead 2025, scheduled October 11th, 2025 from 1 o'clock to 7 p.m., 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Location, Edgewood Avenue between Virginia and McGuckian, Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. Who do we have with us this evening who's going to be speaking on behalf of this application?
Hello, this is Laura and Emma. Emma's executive director at OLA, and I am
Okay.
Laura, helping to translate here.
Great. Can you just provide your name and an address for the record?
Yes.
For anyone
Emmanuel,
who's going to be
Emmanuel Fernandez.
445 Dodon Road, Davidsonville, Anne Arundel, Maryland.
Can you say that one more time? I got Davidsonville. Could you give your street name again?
It's 445 Doden Road, Davidsonville, Maryland, 21035.
Okay.
And the organization
Miss-
is at 80 West Street, Suite 1, Annapolis, 21401.
All right. You got that, Miss Gaines? Yes, Miss Gaines.
Can we have the interpreter also identify herself for the record, please?
Yes, Laura
Yes.
Gutierrez. Laura
Great.
Gutierrez.
And can we have your address as well, ma'am?
Same address.
Same address. Okay, very good. Would you both please raise your right hand and I'll administer the oath and then we'll let you talk about this event. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury the testimony you will provide will be true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, we do.
Perfect. All right. Go ahead. Do you want to tell us about your Day of the Dead celebration this year?
Sure. So this is the 6th year that the city and OLA Center of Help are all putting together the Day of the Dead Festival. It started as a block party in Parole, actually on the same street that we are back at this year. We moved for a while to Maryland Hall. So you might remember last year it was on Maryland Hall, and this year we decided to do a smaller, scaled back event back at the original location. So that's
okay.
That's
Yeah, I do remember Maryland Hall. I don't remember the original location, but I don't think I was on the board probably for that first one. But can you tell us, so this space, can you tell us a little bit about how you're going to, block out the space, how you're going to manage the distribution of alcohol?
So we will have a tent like we always do. We have wristbands, ID bands, card checks. We have volunteers who are restaurant owners and their staff who are very familiar with the process, who help us doing those ID checks. And then alcohol can only be provided within the tent space, which is what we have done every year.
And then do you have additional security as well to make sure it stays in that area?
We have a group of volunteers who are all doing that. We have security plan. We have sort of additional support for the community should any federal situations arise. And we have volunteers planning to help support the event in general as well.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, we've dealt with this for several years now and have never had any problems. I move we approve.
A second.
All right. There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Approved. Have a wonderful event.
We hope to
Good
see you all
luck.
there.
Good
Take
luck.
care.
And be careful.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Great. Thank you very much. All right, last on the agenda this evening, extension of licensed premises during a special event, Galway Bay, Maryland Avenue, and State Circle Festival. This is a request to correct a previously approved extension of licensed premises during a special event issued to Galway Bay for the Maryland and State Circle Festival. The correct date of the event is Sunday, October 19th, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Location 61 through 63 Maryland Avenue, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. And I know Mr. Clark is here this evening. And if you can turn your camera, oh, there you go.
Got it.
Mr. Clark, could you just give us your name and address for the record, please?
Yes, Anthony Clark, 580 West Central Avenue, Davidsonville, Maryland 21035.
Great. And can you just raise your right hand and I'll administer the oath? Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury the testimony you will give will be true and complete to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
Wonderful. So we're just changing a
Yeah,
date.
this was my mistake when I made the application for the last time I was speaking with the board was for two street festivals, Art in the Avenue and then the Fall Festival. And I put the wrong date on the letter, which made it the 20th when it was actually the 19th. So I'm just here to make that amendment with you for the same festival.
Perfect. I'll make a
Mr.
motion
Chairman?
that we approve.
Yeah.
I
Second.
second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 4 ayes approved. Thank you, Mr.
All
Clark.
right. Keep it short.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Anthony.
Thanks
Good
a lot.
luck.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Before we close out, I just want to point something out, and doesn't involve you, Mr. Clark, so you're free to go. I would like to just say this is anyone who would like to provide a comment or any kind of citizen comment can do so on our website, which is www.annapolis.gov/ABC. I normally would say that at the beginning of the meeting and I forgot. So please, anyone who does want to provide comment, the comment period begins on the Friday, 2 weeks prior to our regularly scheduled meeting. And we ask that all comments be in by the Monday prior to the meeting. So I apologize for omitting that in the beginning. Well, that's all of our agenda items. Anybody have anything else?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I move we
I
Adjourn.
second.
adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.